bear with, let me get some settings sorted as usual. There we go. Well. Live from the garden, as usual. Let me get this pool uncovered first. That's my first plan, I think. So bear with. There we go. You can probably tell I've got a little routine. Get the pool cover off, bit of string around it to stop itself unwrapping, and then it drains into the overflow drain. Simple things, isn't it? I can pretty much guarantee I'm going to be streaming some of this video from inside that pool, because it's knocking on for 28 degrees in the pool now. Get out, dare you. Anyhow, I did say I wasn't going to live stream from the garden, I was going to go out somewhere, but we didn't go out. Well, we went round some friend's house yesterday, had a nice barbecue. They got a nice house, big garden, 1,550 square metres I think their garden is. It's very nice. But we've got peaches. Looky, looky. What difference a week makes. Because they weren't there a week ago. Another one hiding in there. Oh, that's Russia. Anyhow, if you're new to the channel, new to my waffling, little bit of geography. We are in a small Russian rural village called Gostogoyevskaya, which is about, well, on a good day about 15 minutes, on a bad day about an hour outside of Napa. Really depends on the amount of bloody foreigners that turn up. Tourist traffic, I don't know. Yeah, so about 15-20 kilometres, and like I say, on a good day it's just a 15-minute run, but in mid-season, when Napa is a hive of activity, then it can be quite hectic, quite chaotic. And that's a seaside resort town, ANAPA. Stick it in Google Maps if you want to know where we are. It's on the coast of the Black Sea, about 50 miles from Crimea, and about 300 kilometres from Sochi. Some more red cherries up there. I did eat one the other day. It was, what's the word? Unpleasant, I think. Yeah. It was worse than eating a lemon. So they definitely ain't ready yet. Even though they look it, look at it. Oh, look. Oh. We've run out of strawberries, even though we bought about 4 kilos. We've eaten them. So we're off to get a load more tomorrow. We kind of have this plan with strawberries and fruit. We just binge eat it until we're sick of eating it. And then that does us for the year. And then the following year, rinse and repeat. Same thing. This looks like it might actually... Oh, I don't know. A lot of black fly on it. But a lot of new shoots. You never know here. You really don't. I mean, I'm looking at it thinking, yep, no fruit on that thing this year. But you just never know. But the fruit trees do funny things. They sort of have a year where they don't produce anything. Like this, you know, 4 peaches. Last year, 200. That thing, probably 30 cherries. Last year, hundreds. In fact, we've literally just stopped eating the cherries from last year out of the freezer. So you never know. Apricots are new to us, but as some of my previous viewers might know, Cat took a liking to the apricots. Thought they were boxing speedballs and beat them off the tree. Thanks, Cat. Was looking forward to some apricots. Oh well, have to buy them up the market like we normally do. Right. Oh, it's very, very tempting to get in that pool. Very, 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 very tempting. Have a look. Bit of cloud today, fluffing about, but it's about 26, 27 degrees, I think. Pool is 27.3 degrees at the moment. Just asked the wife, A, what day of the week it was. So I thought it was Sunday. Turns out it's Monday. And B, what we've got to do today. And I've got nothing. I haven't got to do anything today. Oh, that's handy. To be fair, not that I do a lot anyway. But anyhow, here's our house. You've probably seen it already, but we want to sell it. It's up for sale. Big garage. Sauna in the back of the garage. Pool, as you've seen. Nice gardens. My wife's done a good job with the garden. We were going to have a water feature here at some point, but decided to move instead. So we had all of these plans, and they're all in limbo land now. Because ultimately, if we don't sell it, then we will crack on. And we'll just start some projects, which will be good, because I'll have some content from home. I do need to do a review of the car. I've had a few people ask me, you keep saying you're going to do a review of the car, Chris, and you haven't done it. So I've got a Chinese car, which I've got to say is brilliant. I'm a car guy, and the thing's brilliant. I've been in the automotive industry for, well, up to the point I retired, about 33 years. So I'd like to think that I know my way around cars, in all aspects. And yeah, I've got to say, it's a brilliant car. But I need to do a proper review, because people keep asking. And I keep going, yeah, I'll get round to it. But do you know what happens? This happens. Yeah, it's not a birdhouse, it's a cat house. And it should be a dead bloody tree by now. It still ain't. God knows. It's electric that I put under the concrete before it was laid. I run some electric cable from the pool room. There's a fuse box in there. Just because I have ideas to build a summer house. In which case we'll run the cable out there, because the ground's quite level there, so it sort of lends itself to being a good spot for a summer house. And then again, future plan was to plant some conifers down the back field there, or back fence, spanner, and give the cat something to climb up, wouldn't it? But yeah, like I say, it's kind of limbo land at the moment. There's lots of things we want to do. We want to build a nice carport out the front, but we can't. We want to put a hot tub in, but we can't. So yeah, limbo land. But they might all come back to life, like I say, if we don't actually sell it. But we're not in any hurry to sell it, so you know, it'll just sit on the market, and if it sells, it sells. If it don't, it don't. But I think at some point we'll have to make a decision and just go, nope. The season's a bit ruined here, to be honest. There is talk in the town that we're going to get a late season, so they're talking about opening up the beaches next month, maybe 6 weeks. They've still got a lot of work there to do after the oil disaster, and that's all you hear about at the moment. Even in for sale ads, you get people coming in going, oh, no point in buying a house there, it stinks of oil. And it's like, oh, you idiots. It's people like that that just spread false information and yeah, just cause a lot of damage, to be honest. I don't have time for those sort of people because they've never been here. That's the thing, you know, they're usually 6,000 miles away thinking they're being clever. The reality is, there's no smell of oil. I've been down to the beach many times. There is no smell of oil. There's no sign of oil now. But the local administration is, I guess, putting public health first. Well, that's what they are doing. They're certainly not putting businesses first or homeowners first or anything like that. They are putting public health first. So they're not allowing anybody to go swimming at the moment in the sea until they are completely satisfied that it is as clean as it looks. Which, if you're selling a house, is difficult because nobody's selling anything at the moment. No houses are selling. And equally, if you want to go on holiday and you want to go to a seaside resort and the beach is closed, you're going to go somewhere else, aren't you? Not a lot of help. So, frustrating, but, you know, maybe we get a late season this year. If the weather's good and the weather stays strong, which it usually does, to be honest. I think I was in the pool in November last year. So, yeah, we do get a long, hot summer. Hopefully that'll happen and we get a late season and it can kick off a bit. But for now, just like us, everybody's sort of in limbo land. And, yeah, anyhow, let's say hello. Let's see if I can get the focal length right so I can actually read it without my glasses. Oh, he says, this is Russian. Yes. Okay. It's English, that's the language that I speak, and I'm a Brit, but this is Russia. Yes. Riley, hi man. WYD. What are you doing? Chilling, mate. Look at that. Looking over the pool. Look, got me dodgy flip-flops on. Get out of it. Looking forward to getting in that pool in a minute. Hexy. Good morning, sir. Здравствуйте. Where is the snow? It's a very, very good question, isn't it? Not here. Don't have snow here. Well, we do in the winter, but a winter here in southern Russia is pretty much like an English winter. If you live in the south of England, it's very similar. Temperatures very similar. Less rain, and doesn't last anywhere near as long. But, you know, if you get a bit of snow in the UK, it lasts for a couple of days, and it's the same here. John Castillo, where's at? Detroit. Detroit, stand up. It's at in Russia, yeah. So, coast of the Black Sea. Black Sea's in the news a lot at the moment, isn't it? A lot of talk about the Black Sea. Various media outlets, government officials, talking about all sorts of plans. How they're going to militarise the Black Sea and push Russia out of it. Which, I said in the past, you know, what's this conflict all about? Now, it's on a simple level, it's about resources. On a deeper level, it's about getting Russia out of the Black Sea. It's about controlling Crimea. That's what it was all about. That was the plan. Right, shall I? I think I might have to, mightn't I? Let's have a look. If I do that, and this, and that, then... Oh. Oh. Then I can pop back and answer the occasional question whilst I enjoy my swimming pool. If you've got any questions, if anything at all about moving to Russia, what's life like in Russia, cost of living, etc, etc, you've got a golden opportunity. Here I am, swimming in my pool shortly, and yeah, I can give you some real world answers in a real world setting. So yeah, let me just check the settings. Oh God, that's better. There we go. Yeah, hit me up. It's nice in here, wife. Where's the sprog? She up yet? Yeah, always. Can people on student visa can get a citizenship? Ooh, so student visa, you're coming to Russia to learn. I think it is a pathway, but it's not an instant. So just because you've got a student visa doesn't mean you get citizenship. There's rules and there's steps and processes that you have to go through. But getting a student visa, coming to learn the language, is certainly a good step. Your first step from that would be temporary residency, as we call it here, TRP, temporary residence permit. And then beyond that, it's permanent residency and then citizenship. So they're your paths, they're your steps that you go through. If you're looking to go for temporary residency, if that's something that you've been looking into, there are free videos on my channel, if you're coming from the UK, that tell you the documents you need and the process, what it's about. And of course, I'm happy to answer any questions about my own experience for applying for temporary residency. So I've got a Telegram group, feel free to join that and ask away. Cost of living, please. So let's just break down, rather than just say, oh, it'll cost you X, let's just break down some costs, because it does vary. Russia's a big place. But for us, our cost of living is about 8,000 rubles a month in fuel for the car, which is 60, 70 pounds for a month. And we use the car every day, it's not like we don't, and it's a big four-wheel drive, so it's not exactly frugal. Food, we probably spend now summer's here, we buy a lot of fruit, so food bill's going to go up a bit, so we probably spend 25,000 rubles a month on food. If you do a rough calculation, it'll save me having to try and work it out, but roughly if you go 100 rubles is a pound, it's not, it's a bit better than that, but roughly. So yeah, 250 pounds, probably 200 quid a month on food this summer, because like I say, we'll buy things like a lot of strawberries, and as we haven't got any peaches, we'll be buying them, and cherries. Bills, gas bill, it's like £1 for a month. Electricity bill, £30 probably, but that's running a swimming pool, electric sauna, air conditioning units. Yeah, that's real world prices. That's what we pay. That's not propaganda. That's just, yeah, being honest. But like I say, it varies from region to region. It depends where you live. If you live in Moscow, then those prices are going to increase. And we own our home, so we haven't got any rent to pay and we haven't got a mortgage to pay. So, you know, for us, living is cheap. Hope that helps. Spring. Well, it's actually officially summer now, isn't it? I think yesterday was the first day of summer, which coincided with 27 degrees in the pool, which is quite nice. As a medical student, can I... hear stuff. Hear flying things. And no, they're not drones. Yeah. Sorry, where was I? As a medical student, can I stay? Oh, God, do you know, I'm going to have to get glasses. Wife, can you chuck my glasses down? Not literally, because I'll have to go swimming from, but it's very nice in here. Thank you, darling. Look at this. Old man syndrome. As a medical student, can I stay in Russia? As a medical student? Well, yeah, if you've got visa. I mean, every country is different regarding its visa process. That's the thing to remember. But, I mean, coming to Russia is... It's pretty straightforward. You just fill out the visa. You know, you apply for a visa. It really is that simple. Where is this man and why is he in a swimming pool? Well, why not? And I'm in southern Russia. Yeah. Blue skies, sunshine, 27 degrees. Yeah. If you don't know anything about Russia other than what you've seen in the media, then you're going to ask questions like that because you can't see any snow or bears, and that's going to be pretty much your impression of Russia. There's a bit more to it. We live in a wine region, so we are literally surrounded by vineyards. I had a lovely bottle of wine yesterday, really nice red wine. I think it was about £2.30. It was really nice. So we have really, really nice wine and champagne here in this area. And like I say, we've probably got 20 odd vineyards around us, if not more. Do you drink apple juice? Summer, definitely is summer. Broke. What? Who's broke? Broke or broken or... yeah, okay. Very good, mate. Danny C. Is that Danny Berry? Danny Berry Sports Highlights. I used to know Danny Berry. Up to tune. Okay. Are you happier where you are now? Danny, what do you reckon? I mean, at this time of day back in the UK, I would normally be at work. Hot, bothered, stressed. So, I don't know, is that a difficult question to answer? What do you reckon, mate? Rent, please, or owning a house, please? Yep, sure. So, again, varies from region to region. I can only give you my experience. The house next door is a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom house on 600 square metres. Got a nice drive, get a couple of cars on the driveway. New house, only a couple of years old, and that rents for about £300 a month. So that's here. If you're going to a Napa, then the price goes up. You're looking to pay that for a 1-bedroom flat, effectively, which is 15 minutes down the road. So if you want to be near the sea, but you don't want to be paying near the sea prices, then this village is perfect because it's just one road to a Napa. It's dead easy. Nice, easy road, drives straight through the vineyards of Abral d'Assaut and through the sunflower field. So it's a lovely little drive, nice road, hardly any traffic till you get to a Napa. So it's an ideal spot to, if you're looking to rent or buy, it's an ideal spot to rent or buy. I would say that, I'm selling a house, so. But yeah, owning the house, so our house is for sale at the moment for 21 million rubles, which is about 185, 190 grand, this house. There's lots of videos on my channel if you want to look at it in detail, but it's custom built. There's nothing standard about it. We've moved everything, changed everything. Got a big garage, sauna, and obviously the pool and the garden in limbo land. Do want to do more to the garden. What part of the UK are you from? I'm in Manchester. Yeah, I know Manchester, Danny. I had a friend, I think he still lives there, lives in Chadderton. So, and also I used to be part of a supermoto race team, so we raced in the grounds of Manchester City Football Stadium a couple of times. So, yeah, I know a little bit around Manchester. Found myself in Moss Side in a big KTM racetrack one day because I took a wrong turn. It was a pleasant experience. Didn't stay. But no, I'm as far south as you can go without getting wet. That's where I come from. So I come from the equivalent Eastbourne town of what we've got here. Eastbourne being the town, so the equivalent seaside resort town in the UK. Chuck 'em down, wifey. How long are you living there, and is there much work in southern Russia? Is there much work? Yes, I think is the answer to that. There's virtually no unemployment here, it's virtually zero. Same with homelessness. Again, as always, guys, this is my opinion and it's my experience. So, as I said, Russia is a big, big place, and you'll find different opinions. So I don't profess to speak for all Russians or the entire region, entire area even. Just my experience. There's definitely a lot of work. Depends what your skill set is. But like I say, with next to zero unemployment, I think it's fair to say that there's work. I see a bear right here. What do you mean? Yeah. Well, that's general opinion, isn't it? It's a little saying I have: snow, bears, gangsters, vodka, horse and cart. That's on a very basic level. That's a lot of Brits' opinion of Russia because they don't know any different. It was my opinion before I came here. I had no intention of coming here because that's, I thought that I knew what Russia was about. Snow, bears, gangsters, vodka, horse and cart. That's it, isn't it? That's the stereotypical image that we're fed about Russia. And it was only after coming here that I went, oh, wow, yeah, there's a lot more to Russia than that. How do you do? Nice to meet you. And you. Joshua, oi, Plasty. Why ain't the clouds moving? Well, it's because it's a movie set, mate. It's a film set, so it's a bit like the Truman Show. They're just painted on. The birds you see are just sort of, I think that the birds that you see, I don't see them obviously because they're not there, but they're added in afterwards to give a bit more of an authentic feel. There's no wind, so that's probably a good start. I don't know, do you live in a country where the clouds move all the time? Depends on the weather, doesn't it? Depends on the type of clouds. I don't know, I'm not a meteorologist. What country is that home in? This home is in southern Russia. Don't you feel lonely there? No, not at all. No, not at all. We have some good friends. I still, communicate with my friends and family. I live here with my wife and our daughter. No, I don't feel lonely at all. Not at all. Not even for a microsecond. KTM, bad job, but lucky you didn't stay. I didn't work for KTM, Danny. It was something that I did in my spare time. Michael Keaton, okay. dear, dear. Yeah, yeah, I mean, yeah, feel free. Drop my socks around, yeah. Great. Can I swim at your pool at night? Well, not without our permission, no, because you won't be able to get in. The US is more windy, clouds are usually always moving. I mean, that's a bold statement. If you are regularly travelling through all states of the US and spending time in every single state, then it's probably a statement you can make, but otherwise that's a pretty bold statement. I wouldn't dream of saying that myself, because, you know, although Russia is the largest country in the world, the US, I think, is the second largest. But it's still dwarfed by Russia. It's still only nearly half the size. So to say that clouds move all the time in a particular country, that's a bit of a sweeping statement, I think. I love you, mate. Sometimes the clouds do move here. There you go. Bill, bloody hell, Bill, have you got a notification that's actually working? That's something I will say, guys. If you subscribe to the channel, please check your notifications, because I'm in Russia. Maybe it's not that. Maybe that's just my paranoia. But you will find that your notifications change, and if you've got it clicked to all and you wonder why you haven't seen a notification from me for a video or a live stream, it might be because your notifications on YouTube have changed. So just check them. You know, sometimes they're full to custom, which means not at all. Yeah, good afternoon, Bill. Another nice day. Yeah, well, you know what the weather's like here. Yeah, officially summer as of yesterday. For me, it was summers weeks ago. God, yeah, no idea what you mean. We're not asking. Great. Something vlogs. English language would be helpful, mate. Yeah, right. Amazing piano. Okay. Why are you in Russia? What you doing there, fam? Why not? Seriously, why not? I mean, if your response to that is, whoa, this is happening and that's happening and blah blah blah, then you've never been to Russia, and you're looking at the media, I guess. So yeah, my first response is why not? Because I came here on holiday in October 2021, fell in love with the country and the people, the culture. We have next to zero unemployment, next to zero homelessness. Crime, I haven't seen any, don't know what it is. Not even road rage, I mean none, literally none. So, you know, there's some good reasons. The food, the quality of the food is amazing, absolutely amazing. GMO is banned here in Russia, so there's none of that genetically modified stuff. So I don't know, is that good enough reasons? It is for me. Where are you, mate? Hang on. I'm in the pool, geezer. Hey sir, I've got a challenge for you. If you get underwater for 20 seconds, I will donate you $20. Well, it's a nice challenge, but I don't need your $20. So thanks. I'm not a performing monkey. No, I often say I can't be bought. I can't. Oh, might need to just angle you guys down a bit. There you go. Things in the air, we don't like to show them. Anyhow, $20 you said. away from the camera. Do I get half for only doing half? To a dive bomb. No, that means I've got to get out. It's nice in here. What you do in Russia? This. That. And eat nice food and spend time with friends and family and go to the beach. Have days out. Go to places like the Brow d'Urso, which is a lovely region. Some vineyard, very famous vineyard, Champagne region. Yeah, drive about a bit, find new sites, do YouTube videos. That's pretty much what I do, really. Oh, and eat. Like to eat. I like the accent, thank you. I don't know any other one. It's the only one I got. Well, that's not true. If you're a Brit, you do lots of accents, don't you? We all know that. Tell I just ignore stupid comments. I usually read every comment out, but if they're stupid, I just can't be arsed now. I'm getting less tolerant in my old age, maybe. I'm Russian myself, brother. Brilliant. Are you in Russia or are you somewhere else? You're funny. What, funny peculiar or funny ha-ha? Jimmy, hi. I think you need to stop the clouds from moving. Yeah. I'll have a bash at that. Bro fell for the Mr. Least. No idea what that means. Andre, nice to see you. Hi, Chris. Just came back from St. Pete. That was perfect, as usual. Awesome. Absolutely awesome. What's the weather like? Because I know, from what I've heard, St. Petersburg can be a bit hit and miss with weather. Jimmy, make sure you give him the 20 bucks. Yeah, that won't happen. How old do you be to get your own pool like that? Well, I don't think age is a restriction. I'm fairly confident that the restrictions on having a pool are whether you've got a garden to put it in and enough money to put it in. So I don't think age actually factors into it. As long as you're old enough to pay the bill. MC, is this Russia? It sure is. This is southern Russia. This is just outside a seaside resort town called Anapa, A-N-A-P-A, in your Google Maps. And then you'll see where we are. Yeah, southern Russia, about 50 miles from Crimea on the coast of the Black Sea. A nice life. What do you reckon? I mean, you know, maybe a swimming pool isn't everybody's idea of luxury, but it is mine. And yeah, being able to come out, have me tea on the terrace in the morning and then come for a morning swim. For me, heaven. Absolutely heaven. Stupid comments. Boa of Woa, okay. How long will you stay? As long as they'll have me, I guess. Quite like it. Quite a nice place. Looks like the day we had here earlier today in Orlando, Florida. 4:30 a.m. Wow. Morning, Richard. 4:30. You must be barking mad. Getting up at 4:30, but fair play to you. Funny ha-ha, thank you. Joshua. Wow. I stand corrected, and I also stand, hang on, there you go, just to prove it, not swimming on the edge, I stand humbled. Thank you, Joshua. That's very kind of you. Very unexpected. Lots of people say stuff like that and don't actually do it, so fair play to you for being a man of your word. Turns out I am a trained monkey. Moot, I didn't know Rush had any areas. Exactly. I think really that's the purpose of my channel, is just really to give people information. You know, this isn't a propaganda channel. I'm not paid by anybody, despite the constant comments that I'm a Putin propagandist and I'm paid by the government, and I've heard it all. Trust me. Whatever you can think of, I've already heard it. My channel isn't that at all. It is some old bloke from England that's come out here and had his world turned upside down, discovered that what he thought about Russia was completely wrong, in my opinion, and from my experience. And he's just having a wonderful time, living a wonderful life. So, yeah, and that's the thing, you know, coming out here to southern Russia, it does kind of blow your mind if you've never been to Russia. It really will. You know, you'd have to prepare for it, and that's, you know, it's part of the reason for the channel, is just to give people information. You know, there are blue skies, there are swimming pools, there are fruit trees growing in the garden. It is a seaside resort town. The beach is amazing here. Yeah, coast of the Black Sea. Same sort of climate as south of France. And that just really throws people. They're just not expecting it. You know, like I say, snow, bears, gangsters, vodka, horse and cart. That's our general opinion, isn't it? Simplified, I know, but that time was sunny and warm. Wow, perfect for chilling in the city on a boat with a glass and a beer. You definitely were living the dream. $100, $20, $50. Yeah, any of those will do. Nice, you sent him 20 bucks. Good for you. Yeah, I remain very surprised and humbled, but I do appreciate that. Absolutely. Leo, I'm not entirely sure what you're up to, but hi, what's up? Clouds, sun, definitely the sun, that's up. A few birds, sky, space. But for me, nothing. It's all good. Leo, I'm going to boot you out in a minute. You don't sound Russian. Do I not? Honey, apparently I don't sound Russian. I know. No shit, Sherlock. Huh? How it can... yeah, I don't know. I'm really surprised at that. Don't sound Russian. Jeez. Trained monkey. Yeah, absolutely. I got paid to dance, didn't I? 20 seconds under the pool. Got paid. Leo. Thin ice, my pedigree chum. Well, you're just rude, so I'll just get rid of you. Because... I mean, if it's just going to be rude, what's the point? You know, go be rude somewhere else. Better still, turn your computer off, mate. It's past your bedtime anyway. Hi, first time here. J-Lo, are you sure? You're Brit Russian? No, I'm just a Brit. My location is Russia. But no, born and bred in the UK. So are you Russian? No, Vladdy Daddy, I'm not. I'm a Brit. Liked and subbed, thank you. Who inspired you the most as childhood hero? President Abraham Lincoln, John Wayne? No, certainly nobody from the US, because I'm from the UK. Who inspired me the most? Easy question to answer. My dad. Yeah, definitely my dad. He was one of the old school. Fought in the Second World War for our freedoms. Went through a lot in his life. Multiple surgeries. Had an arm amputated, finger amputated on the other hand. Went through a lot, but nothing stopped him. Nothing. Remarkable. So, yeah, very, very easy question for me to answer. Who inspired me the most? Simple answer, my dad. Do you get chemtrails there? To be honest, I haven't looked into the whole chemtrail thing, so I don't know anything about it. I haven't taken a lot of notice of it because, to be honest, I spend most of my time just researching other stuff really, 3 or 4 hours a day, looking at geopolitics and finance. You wouldn't believe that, would you? But I do. So I don't have time really. I don't have time to watch YouTube channels and stuff like that, but the whole chemtrail thing doesn't interest me enough to research it, and because I haven't researched it, I don't know anything about it, and because I don't know anything about it, I certainly won't talk about it, because otherwise I'm just another talking head parroting out somebody else's opinion, which I won't do. I only speak from my own experience, and I haven't got any experience of chemtrails, so I probably, well, I can actually say no, we don't. I'll tell you why, because the airport's closed. So we don't have any planes flying over us other than military planes, and they don't produce chemtrails. So no, we haven't got any chemtrails here. There's none. Yeah, long-winded answer. I do apologise, Bill. I've heard Russia will give you land for free if you want to farm it. Okay. I don't know, is the honest answer. I wouldn't be surprised. I think that's true in certain regions, actually. But I haven't any knowledge of that. But what I can tell you is the cost of land varies greatly from region to region. And we've been looking at that recently. And I'm seeing some land just so cheap that you look at it and just think, well, I'll just buy it for the sake of it. Just because why not? It is stupidly cheap. And then you see some building plots that are just off the charts, you know, how much? So it varies hugely and greatly, and also there are different categories of land, so that influences, you know, how much it is. Vladdy Daddy, goodbye, you're just rude. Can't be doing with you. Gone. There you go. HIPAA, well, there's a lot more to it than a simplified question like that, mate. Much more. Leo was right, was he? You're Australian. No, I ain't. No, I definitely ain't. I haven't got very strong grip in my feet. You sound British. Ah, there's a reason I might sound British. Because I am. Either you're Brit or Aussie. I'm definitely Brit, not Aussie. J-Lo, okay, thanks. You're welcome. Are they? Oh, never mind. Dad answer just got me to sub. Thank you, Richard. Love your name, by the way. That's, yeah, love that. It's very polite version, like that. But thanks for the sub, I appreciate it. What did I do for a living? So I was in the automotive industry for 33 years. Prior to that, all sorts of everything. So yeah, worked for a large automotive retailer, quite a high level. Beautiful garden, beautiful day. Yeah, I mean the garden's lovely, but it needs to be lovelier. We just, yeah, we need to get round to it. Sorry, Joshua, what? Pardon? That can't be right, surely. I've lost my train of thought on that, Joshua. I'll be coming to you momentarily. Desert Cards, the generation that lost the empire, and today's generation is responsible for losing country important enough. Third world country now resemble the third world. Enjoy the sound of your voice, mate. Ain't no dancing monkey. Big ups. Enjoy your pool. Much love. Joshua, it's rare that I'm lost for words. I used to always shake my head when I came out of the pool. You know, much like if you've got long hair and you go, give it all of that. So I used to have long hair. I think my brain still thinks I do have. And Joshua, I don't really know what to say to that. I mean, thanks is the obvious, but it doesn't really sound like that's enough. Yeah. Struggling with that one, mate. It made me a little bit, blimey. Get it together, Chris. Get a grip. Joshua, thank you very, very much. That's remarkable. That's all I can say, really. I don't really know what else to say. If you've got any questions, obviously, please reach out to me. You can do that by email. My email is theplasticrussian@gmail.com. Or if you've got Telegram, and if you haven't, why not? It's a really good app. But yeah, you can contact me on Telegram, The Plastic Russian on Telegram. Mind blown. There you go, Richard. Holy smokes, Josh. And all of them emojis. Yeah, that. In Russian, that would be Vera, I think. Vera, sling your hook. He's mine. Well, I wouldn't quite say that. I don't give. You know, yeah, I wouldn't go with that. Rosie, nice pool. Thank you. I don't get it why YouTube is showing me that. I don't know, just lucky, I guess. Can I come with you, please? Yeah, why not? There it is, mate. Let's go. See, told you I was a trained monkey. Look at this. Russian plastic. Well, not entirely, no. Watching from Cali. What's happening, everyone? Where is this? Just subbed. Randy, this is southern Russia. This is just outside the seaside resort town of Anapa, A-N-A-P-A. If you put that in Google Maps, you'll see where we are. Just outside that town, on the coast of the Black Sea, about 50 miles from Crimea. Lovely part of the world, surrounded by vineyards, got a lovely beach just down the road, dolphins. Saw my first dolphin last year in the wild, and it's quite a remarkable experience, I'll be honest. Seen dolphins before, obviously, everybody has, on TV, and you've probably been to some aquarium somewhere in your life, seen a dolphin or two. It is not the same when you see them actually in the sea, in their natural environment. It does something to you, I'll be honest. It's quite special. So yeah, saw dolphins for the first time last year, and there are countless videos online of people just literally having them swimming around their legs. So that's my mission for this year. I plan to get some video footage of the dolphins swimming around my legs, but we've got to wait for the beach to be opened. But as soon as it is, I'm on it. Oh dear, 6 hour. I think good choice of equipment. Dumb question. Joshua, can you donate to my cause? No, sling your hook. How are your civil rights there? I think the simple answer to that is how they should be. Because it's not a question I've ever considered. I don't feel restricted. I don't feel constrained in any way, shape or form. There are laws like there are in any country, and if you're a law-abiding citizen, I don't think you have anything to worry about unless you live in a country that may oppress you, and I know that's the opinion that the West gives of this country, but it's not the case. I've been stopped 5 times by the police. And before you jump on and go, oh, there's proof. No, I was being an idiot. Once I was driving on the wrong side of the road. Once we'd got the new car and we didn't have any number plates on it. Once I'd actually broken the law and crossed a white line in the centre of the road, and they're very hot on that sort of thing out here. Once was, I think, just a routine stop, actually. So I think one of them was a routine stop, but the other's just me being an idiot. So, you know, got to expect it. And I've got to say, every single time, the police have been extremely polite, very friendly, had a laugh and a joke. Oh yeah, once up the town, I went the wrong way round some bollards in front of the policeman. And he pulled me over and went, what are you doing? Yeah, sorry about that. I'm English, I'm an idiot. So, wife came along and he pointed out to the wife that I probably shouldn't have done what I did. She then relayed that to me by saying, you're an idiot bastard. I agreed, and he said, see ya. So I've got to say the police have been lovely. So, you know, all of this nonsense about you can't do anything, you'll be arrested for everything and blah, blah, blah. It's not my experience. It's not what I found, I'm afraid. Crazy man, far from me, I'm near LA. Have a good, safe day. Thank you, Randy. I don't. Lenny. You sell bread? Okay. Plastic sardine? Nope. What part of Britain are you from? So, as far south as you can go without getting wet, from London. So, literally on the southeast coast. So, again, I come from an English seaside resort town. So, this region feels very much like England because we're surrounded by hills, which you can't see, but if I went up on a terrace, you'd see the hills. So it feels very much like the South Downs, which is a hilly region in southern England. He is English, he is. How long have you been there? A couple of years, I think. No, it's not. God, please come up with some new material. Just can't say anything bad about Putin, right? Well, again, that's not my experience. In fact, I had a conversation yesterday with somebody and they were unhappy with the way things were being handled. This is, from my experience, this is just a myth. This is a narrative that's created to convince people that have never been to Russia, that absolutely know nothing about Russia, that it's a terrible place and you shouldn't go to Russia. It's not the reality. You know, and what you'll find, as is often the case, is a video that will be 3 or 4 minutes long, that will be edited down to about 10 seconds to show somebody being arrested for apparently doing nothing at all. And of course, that's a nice little clip, isn't it? But it's not the reality. I've seen, over the last 3 or 4 years, the amount of videos I've seen that are clips of a full-size video that show the complete opposite. And let's face it, we can all do that, can't we? You know, anybody can take a video and chop it down and make it look the complete opposite of what it really is. And I've seen it countless times. So, yeah, I'm going to say I disagree with you. I think you absolutely can. There is, in fact, there are even members of Putin's own team disagree with him at times. So, I think that's rubbish. You know, it's a narrative, isn't it? Hi, are you Indian? No. If they are extremely polite, they are trying to cover what they really think. Just be careful. Look, whatever they really think, all I can say is I treat people how they treat me. And they were very polite to me. You know, one of them I had, you know, a reasonable conversation with through the wife. He was asking, you know, very surprised I was an Englishman, because I'm a bit of an anomaly in this region. There's not many of us here, very few in fact. So he was very surprised about that. And, you know, first question is, what do you think of Russia? Which is the common thing. And yeah, why am I here? And do I live here? Am I enjoying it? You know, that sort of stuff. So yeah, I've got to say, yeah, I think that's true really of most people. If you're nice to them, they're nice to you. No idea. Daft question. Again, Tim, daft question. Lenny, yep, he is. Andre, people in Russia never think about civil rights. Yeah, you don't think about it because it's not infringed. If you ask Russians, they just live their life, have all the rights they need, and that's why they never think about it. It's simple. Yeah, exactly that. You don't think about something. I'm just going to go and get a power pack because it means I've got to get out of the pool. Ooh, it's nice in there. But battery's going to go flat. Let's plug you guys in for a bit. Don't panic, it's facing the other way. My daughter in meltdown because she thought she was on camera. Should have seen the look on her face. Oh. Right. Yay, that's worked. Right, where was I? Yeah, no, as Andre says, you don't think about it because why would you? If it's permanently infringed, it's on your mind. If it's not, well, there you go. Lenny, my dad was from London, hence the very English name. Nice, Lenny. Whereabouts in London? My family's, well, my family's all within the sound of Bow Bells. That's where my dad came from. Me? No, I was born in Devon, so I can't claim that, but my family are all East End. Andre, when I'm in Russia, I feel safe and free. Yeah, absolutely, it's a true statement. I've never felt so safe and so free here as I have in any other country. So, yeah. Joshua, do you know Beard Meats Food? I've seen a couple of his videos, actually. It's the same sort of concept as Man v Food, isn't it? He rocks up and does these food challenges. The only thing that sort of makes me go, is, yeah, you know, dessert in the beard. Ugh. Put a bib on or something, maybe a hairnet. But yeah, I've seen the channel. Richard, imagine that Western media lied to us about Russia. No, you don't say. What's the most Russian thing you have seen so far? One man fighting like three bears. No, Russians do like bears. Do see quite a few videos with bears and Russians. I think obviously not in our region, but in certain regions I think they do that for fun. Why not? I'm sure everybody's seen the video of the bear in the sidecar going down the street. It's quite funny. I suppose anything cultural really. There's a little video up on my channel that you will have to look for because it's not monetized because you know, copyright infringement or something, but it's just a bit of Russian culture, and it's just some youngsters doing some traditional dancing in traditional dress. We'll see a lot of that sort of thing. Hey man, where are you? Looks beautiful. With me? Thank you. Oh, yeah, garden. Yeah, I'm in the garden. Let's show you. There you go. In the garden. Wandering about. I've had to get out the pool to get a power pack. Going back in it in a minute. It's very nice. But yeah, southern Russia. That's where we are. Coast of the Black Sea. A couple of houses for sale on this development if anybody fancies one. There's one down there. That's I think a 2-bedroom house. That one there. This one next door, which is up for about 90 grand UK money. There's another one down the bottom that I think is 3 bedrooms, and that's up for about £105,000 UK. And then this house that we're in, this is up for sale for about £190,000 UK, roughly, give or take. But yeah, we built this, not with our own hands, but we built this on the internet. We came here, bought the land, and then the entire build was done via the internet. So we obviously returned to the UK. Got a sauna in there. Let me show you. Another project that I haven't finished. Up there is going to be a movie room. This is our sauna. It's nice because you can just sit here and look out into the garden over the pool. Cook yourself. Russia is beautiful and a lot safer than the UK. I mean, that's been my experience, I'll be honest. So, again, it's a generalisation, I don't like making them, but that is my experience. MNC, mate, just go and educate yourself. That's all I can say really. I don't want to be rude, but you need to go and educate yourself if that's your view. Lenny Cottingham. Ordinary people in the UK don't bump into the Prime Minister, so why should people in Russia bump into people? Yeah, exactly. Well done, Lenny. Exactly that. That's good fun. Ice cold water dropping on your head when you come out of the sauna. That wakes you up. Very invigorating, apparently. Anyhow, here's the sauna. Like I say, house is for sale. £190,000. Gets you a sauna, an outdoor shower room, the start of a movie room, a big garage, loads of storage, ensuite bedrooms, various other things. It was cheap in. Going back to Russia at the end of the month. Stay for another couple of weeks in my village house. Enjoy the countryside with a sauna, good food and some shots after the sauna. Legend. Well done, Andre. That's what it's all about, isn't it? Are Americans safe there? Yeah. In fact, there are a couple of Americans living in Anapa. And I believe there are a couple of Americans in our village. In fact, I know they are because Alexei, who I met yesterday on the live stream for the first time, shook his hand. Lovely guy, really nice guy. He's actually passed me on their phone number. The only thing is, I kind of, you know, what do? You ring someone up and say, hi. You know, I don't know them, I don't know anything about them, they don't know me. So it's a bit difficult to just sort of randomly ring someone up and say hello. You wouldn't really do it at home, so. But yeah, apparently a couple of Americans living in our village, and also I think a couple of Canadians. Right, let's see, can I read this? And here's a crazy story. Down the seafront last year, I think it was, there was a guy riding a bike with a stereo on, and he was dressed from head to toe in Stars and Stripes. Yep. And if you go to the clothing shops here, you'll find lots of clothing like Brooklyn and NYC hats and universities and various things. And if you go to your clothing shops wherever you are, do you find Russian stuff? I'm going with no. But as I've said many times, Russians aren't wired the same, so they don't sort of fall into that nonsense that newspaper says I must hate the country and the people, so I do. They don't work like that. So the clothes have got, the clothes shops have all got what I would call American style clothing. You know, varsity jackets and hoodies, etc. All with American towns and universities on. So, yeah, no, Russians aren't wired like that. So, as an American, yeah, you're perfectly safe here. You're safer here than you probably are in America. How's that? Jazzy Jeff. Yeah. Okay, mate. Yeah, all right. Why not? He's just rude, so let's get rid of him. Gone. Bye-bye. Joshua, he got the bullet. I can't read that. My silly cat, look. Baby Rios. Rios, what you doing? We've got 5 cats. All little treasures. All little challenges, maybe. Do you know, I counted 5 peaches on this bloody tree. Now I can only find 4. Driving me mad, that is. Especially as it should be about 200. Anyhow, let's get back in the shade and I can read some more comments. Oh, shall I get back in the pool? Might have to do that. Let's take a pew for a minute while I'll get some life in the battery as well. Right. Danny, I'm not sure if I came over in Rochester. Fair enough, mate. Very muff. MNC, it's not on their mind. Russians are not respecting international borders. Well, I disagree with that. Ukrainians all have rights to be. I mean, you just need to go and educate yourself a little bit because, yeah, your view is jaded, I'm afraid. I mean, you know, if you believe Western media, then I'm living in a war zone. I'm only 50 odd miles away from Crimea. Don't look too bad for a war zone. Well, Kevin, again, you should do your homework, mate, before you make statements like that. Where was he educated? That particular person. You do know he was a CIA asset, don't you? You don't, do you? Because you haven't done any research, have you? You're just reporting the media nonsense, running with it. Go and do some research. Find out exactly who Alexei Navalny is, or was. Might have a different opinion then. But educated in American university, which is widely accepted as being a CIA recruiting place. This is part of the story. Oh, that's just rude, isn't it? See, Kevin, you is, as always, these idiots that believe a media propaganda and just repeat it, regurgitate it, because they haven't got a brain. They just resort to, you know, just unpleasantness because they haven't got an argument. So we'll get rid of him because he's a waste of my time and a waste of yours. Lenny, do lots of Russians own their own homes compared to UK? Yes, definitely. A lot of Russians have multiple homes. So it's very common for Russians to have what they call dachas, holiday home, you know, somewhere where they go in the summer. In the south here, there are lots of little dacha regions. So yes, that's very common. It's very common for Russians to be working in the northern parts of Russia, in the difficult areas, earning their money and then buying holiday homes and retirement homes in the south. So yeah, it's very common for Russians to own their own homes, and sometimes more than one. How much money in UK money, how much money is UK money in the US? If you know, of course, I'm interested in moving. Okay, so I think current exchange rate is about, oh, no, I was going to quote you rubles to dollars then. So I think it's probably about $90 to a pound. I think. That is a bit of a guess, but that's what it feels like. Sorry, that sounds vague. But our house in US dollars is probably $225,000. Pretty sure UK money is called Great British Pound. Yeah, GBP. If you want to convert value on Google. Yeah, yeah. You know, I'm not sure the exchange rate. My apologies for the ignorance. No, not at all. Not at all. How many people can quote exchange rate? Only if it's relevant to you or you got any interest in it. 90% of people wouldn't have a clue, so. St. Petersburg is full of those naval cars. Cool. The UK's cooked. Yeah, a lot of people tell me that. How's the crime there? Non-existent. Again, I'm only speaking from my own experience and for my area. I can't speak for all of Russia. I can't speak for every town. Blah blah blah. You know, I'm not living in a unicorn and fairy dust land where I believe everything's sunshine and rainbows. I'm just telling you what I experienced myself, and my own personal experience is non-existent. I haven't seen any crime at all, none, not even a road rage incident. So that's my story, that's my version. Oh dear, okay, here's another Luffy, bye. It's a bit pointless really, spam the chat with a load of rubbish. Lenny, Get a mod to clean up the chat. Fluffy as a dog. Yeah, I'll get to them eventually, don't I? I'll get to them eventually. Free Luffy. Yeah, no, I don't think so. Same can be said in America. Kev, yeah. Dumb Aussie. Who is? I ain't. CIA in college. Oh dear. Yeah, there's another one. Get rid of you as well. Explain free speech, then it's everywhere. It is here. Well, it is until you go to somebody's Telegram chat room or on their YouTube channel. Then, you know, they make the rules, ultimately. So, if people want free speech, they can make their own YouTube channel, but then they're going to abide by YouTube rules. So, what is free speech? What do you call free speech nowadays? It's hard to describe, isn't it? Yeah, whatever. Thank you for being so kind and answering our questions. My pleasure. And a subscribe. Thank you. I'm not far away from 5,000 subscribers, which has, much like Joshua today, blown my mind. Never ever thought I'd get to 5,000 subscribers. Oh, sounds like a neighbour's doing a bit of streaming. Yeah, never thought I'd get to 5,000 subscribers. But that wasn't really the intention. I never started this channel to gain subscribers and, you know, promote a certain narrative or generate income or anything at all. In fact, Joshua today has exceeded any income I've ever earned. which yeah, I'm kind of blown away with that. But yeah, the revenue that I've had from YouTube wouldn't even cover the equipment that I've bought. So it's never been about money. It's never been political in any way. It is just, hey, have you seen this part of Russia? Do you know that the sun shines? It's that kind of thing. That's what the channel's been about. And, you know, I did it and thought a few people might be interested. But I'm at nearly 5,000 subscribers, so sorry about the wind. Get around the corner and it'll be gone again. It's a bit of a wind tunnel here. I need to make something across here to break it. But given that the neighbour has started up with his strimmer, it's probably quite noisy. I'll probably call it a day unless he stops. Don't know, let me know, is it too noisy? In the flesh, you have a beautiful home. Thank you. What's Joshua? No, who's Joshua? Yeah, hello. Yes. Bye. We're going out? Oh, where are you going?
I don't know yet, but to town first, like centre, and then somewhere.
And then somewhere. Okay.
I'll text you.
Yeah, okay. Bye.
I'm going to go get ready first.
Oh, right.
We'll get the
Oh, okay. Yes, there you go. Hello. Oh, need to be back in the pool, but need to charge the phone as well. Yes. So, as I said, channel isn't about politics or anything. I'm happy to answer questions if you've got them. And we've got a Telegram channel where, because things like this is all well and good. You can ask a question on the chat, but it's not exactly easy, is it? Typing and typing and typing. So join the Telegram chat. the Plastic Russian on Telegram, and you can ask me anything you want. And we can have a good chat if you want. If you've got a load of questions, please don't email me 100 questions. I'm a terrible typer. Type with one finger. So if you send me a load of email questions, I'll just probably ask you to join Telegram so I can respond to you with a voice note. Thought you said you make money from Joshua. So Joshua has been very, 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 very generous today. But that's a first. I've had the odd very, very small donation, you know, somebody just a little thanks, but never had that. So that's kind of blown me away a little bit. But for transparency and clarity, every month, and I'm just about to post my earnings for last month, every month I post my earnings from YouTube on my Telegram channel. Not, you know, some people go, oh, you're bragging that you're earning some money. No, I'm showing you what I actually do earn. Because some people think that this is all about money, and it's not. And if you see my earnings, you'll realise. So yeah, I like to be transparent. No, not at all. Oh, Ross. Oh dear. Someone cutting the grass. It's fine. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I mean they're out with a strimmer. They've got a bit of land at the end of their garden that's a bit overgrown, so they need to trim it at the moment. Oh, I get it now. Okay. Joshua, charge the phone in, mate. I am. Look. Power pack in hand. Got a percentage. What was that? 38%. So, yeah. Got all sorts of bits of equipment. We've got microphones with wind socks and all sorts of stuff, just to try and make life a bit more pleasant. So yeah, I've definitely spent a lot more on equipment than I've ever generated, but I'm not complaining because it's not about the money. This is just about, it's really about giving people an opportunity to get some information, some real information, real time. It's about being able to ask somebody in Russia. We should all be able to do that. Wouldn't the world be a much better place if you could just phone somebody, or, you know, have a video chat with somebody random in another country and just ask random questions? You'd have a much better opinion and you'd be much more better informed, wouldn't you? So here it is. Here's the opportunity. That's what I'm here for. You won't get any bullshit from me. If I don't know the answer, I'll just say I don't know. Simple as that. And what you will get is my opinion, for what that's worth. Again, you know, take it or leave it. But yeah, it's not a political channel. I'm not trying to push a narrative on anybody one way or another. It's just purely, this is our life here. Whilst wandering around in a pair of shorts with no shoes on. My wife would kill me if she saw me now. Ross, just rude. So, bye. Good morning from Liverpool and Prost. Good morning. Morning, is it? No, it's 12:20, but it might have been when you typed that. I don't know. Absolutely, connection is key. Well, I think truth is key, isn't it? And that's, you know, people say, oh, you're pro-Russian, pro this, pro that. And honestly, guys, I've heard it all. I've had it all thrown at me. Paid government stooge, Putin propagandist, pro-Russian, blah, blah, blah. I've had it all. I've traitor, I've had death threats, you name it. I've had it. You've got to be thick-skinned to do this. That I've definitely learned. I came into YouTube very, very naive, thinking that, you know, it was just going to be a nice friendly place and all YouTubers were going to be really helpful. And yeah, yeah, I've learned a lot in the last year with YouTube. But it really, for me, is about realism. It's about not doing edited videos and fancy highlights and glossy thumbnails. Because, you know, even I still get people saying every now and again, oh, yeah, this is a movie set, I've seen this before. It's like, really? Really? It's not a movie set, is it? I mean, it'd be a bloody good movie set, wouldn't it? But yeah, you get all sorts, and you have to be a bit thick-skinned. If you're unprepared for it, it might sort of dampen your spirits a bit, but I'm a little bit long in the tooth. I'll get around to finishing these stairs one day. Yes, Joshua, The Plastic Russian on Telegram. There's the Telegram group, and then if you join the Telegram group, there's a button that says discuss. You can click on that and that takes you to the chat group. So the Telegram group itself, you can only put a comment in a post that I've uploaded, but in the chat group you can post as much as you like and ask as many questions as you like, and if you want me to contact you privately, more than happy to do that. Just put a message up, even if it's just under one of my comments or something, and I'll send you a message, and yeah, if you've got any questions, I'm happy to answer them, but they will only be my opinion, or, you know, based on my own experience. So I don't purport to know everything about Russia or Russians, certainly not. But what I can tell you is what I've experienced since I've been here. 10:20 a.m. I'm just going to Liverpool town for a few beers. Get on it. That's hardcore. 20 past 10 in the morning. Good lad. I have a friend called Johnny in the UK, and he had a lovely saying. We went on holiday to, I think it was Tenerife, and literally 9 o'clock in the morning by the pool, he's cracking open a beer. And we'd been on it the night before, like properly, you know, rolling in when it was daylight. So yeah, we're all sitting round the pool, hanging, and Johnny's cracking a beer open. And I'm like, Geezer, what are you doing? He says, Geezer, what makes it bad makes it better. Johnny, you're an absolute legend. I'm out of here. Chat, it's 4:20 a.m. I've got to catch a few Zeds. Good lad, in the flesh. Yeah, I bet you have at 4:20 a.m. Time here is 20 past 12, 20 past midday. Beer garden weather, your back garden looks boss, mate. It's so unfinished. There's so much we want to do to it, but yeah, we've got some lovely fruit trees, and I'll get back up in the pool in a minute when the streaming has stopped, because it's a bit noisy. Done it myself, mate. Yeah, sounds the boss man. So the only thing I know out of any of this stuff is these, which is onions. Everything else, I haven't got a clue. Conifers, yeah. Oh no, tell a lie, that's a mulberry. It's actually got some fruit on it. I tend to only take any notice of anything that I can eat. So if I can't eat it, I kind of forget what it is. But I can eat that, so that's why I've remembered. So that's mulberry. And onions. But any of this other stuff, I ain't got a clue. No idea what it is. I'm not green fingered at all. My gardening skills literally revolve around the wife saying, dig a hole here, bastard. So I go, okay then. Oh, this is rosemary, and that over there. So we've got different varieties of rosemary. I know that because we eat it. We come out here and grab a bit off and chuck it on some lamb when it goes in the oven. But as for the other stuff, I don't know. No idea. Lovely rocks, aren't they? Look at them. Lovely colours. do like the rocks. Just found them at the side of the road. And then we've got all this other stuff. I don't know what it is. I think there's a Japanese maple in here somewhere. Well, I know there is because we bought it because I like them. I don't know where. Where is it? There it is. There, look. Hiding in the corner. They don't like direct sunlight, so that's why he's wedged over there. They don't like a lot of wind either. But yeah, as for the rest of this stuff, I don't know. But the wife buys stuff. Like I say, the intention is to move. So she buys stuff in plant pots for the next house. I'm fairly confident it's going to go in this house. Oh, cat. Right, this cat likes to do laps. So we open the front door. She goes through the house, comes out the back door and goes round again. There you go. Bye-bye, cat. Dear, dear. Look at the doors. Absolutely solid things. All ball bearing hinges. I must fit some lights. It's a bit unfinished with just bulbs hanging out, isn't it? Need to put some nice lights up there. Scouse, the area you are looks very peaceful. I'd love a back garden like that. It is, yeah, it is. Apart from today when neighbours strimming. But normally, yeah, very peaceful. Very nice. Oh. Might go out for dinner tonight. Not entirely sure. Anyhow, please check out the YouTube channel. Have a look at some of the videos on there. Some of them might be of interest to you. Not expecting everybody to like everything. But yeah, there's a wide variety. That's probably why my channel hasn't got millions of subscribers. That might be the reason, I don't know. But I don't do the same content all the time. So YouTube and the algorithm really loves consistency. So if you turn out the same sort of videos all the time, the same sort of style titles, especially if you use like keywords, like the word typical, for example, if you put that in the title all the time, the algorithm grabs hold of that and your channel gets pushed to promoted. But if you do stuff like me, which is literally turn the camera on whenever I feel like it and point it at whatever I feel like, they're all different and the algorithm doesn't really know what to do with that. So yeah, it doesn't show up in most people's feeds, and if you are subscribed, you do need to check the notification settings because they do change. But I mean, people have suggested to me many times that I should do this search engine optimization and, you know, do editing. But if I start editing videos, then I'm just going to look like every other YouTuber. And there's no real authenticity there. You don't really know what's edited out, do you? You know, let's face it, how many times do you watch these blooper shows where you get the outtakes? Yeah, they're funny, I get that. But, you know, you're always going to get a edited view of something if it's chopped up and spliced together. So none of my videos are edited. So they literally are turn the camera on, film whatever I'm filming, and then turn the camera off. And that's all I will ever do. In the early days, there was some encouragement to go a different route from a couple of YouTubers. But it's just not me. I don't want to do that. One, because I'm bone idle. I'm too bloody lazy, and 2, I'm too thick. But 3, I just don't want to turn out that kind of content where people can say, oh, this is just edited together and he's not showing this and he's not showing that. If you look at my live streams where I excuse me, where I wander around the village, for example, you know, I mean, a couple of days ago, it might have been yesterday, or no, it wasn't yesterday, the day before, I wandered around for nearly 3 hours, and it was just a live stream. And I much prefer to do a live stream because, you know, you guys get to see everything, warts and all. I don't go to special areas and make stuff look particularly bad. I don't go to special areas to try and make stuff look particularly good. There are plenty of YouTubers that do that. I literally just wander about and I show you, you know, a brand new house next to a 100-year-old shack that's falling down, because that's real. That's the real version. You know, in a rural village, that's what you're going to find. It would be very easy of me to make a video where everything is glossy, or it'd be very easy of me to make a video where everything looks terrible. That's easy, but it's not real. It's just contrived, and you'll never get that. Now, you might find some of my content boring. I understand that, because it's not edited. I'm not editing out the boring bits. But it's real. And what you can see is that the camera's turned on, there is no editing to it, and then the camera's turned off. So I hope you like that sort of content. If you don't, well, there are lots of other channels, I guess. Sir Lancevrot. Privet. Always butcher your name because I can't read it properly. Lancevrot. Cactilla. Trying to read it, bear with. Voga. Storna Voga. Storna Voga. Not sure the second bit, but I'm very well. Cagdilla, how are you? I'm very well, thank you. Storna Voga. And it's a question, so not sure of that. Sorry, mate. My Russian is terrible. Scouse, right, mate, I enjoyed your video. Just off to Liverpool for a few beers from a cool video. Take care. Thank you, mate. Appreciate that. Have a beer from me. Guinness, actually. Have a nice Guinness. I fancy that. But, yeah, as I say, guys, thanks very much for joining me. Please like, share and subscribe. It's the only way the channel grows. Please join the Telegram. Ah, what's new? Thank you. Yes, I haven't come across that. What's new? What's new? Not a lot, really. Just sort of getting on with life, you know, wandering about a bit. Went to some friends yesterday, had a nice barbecue. Wandered around their lovely home. Lovely garden. And today, thought I was going to go out and then ended up turning the camera on. Saying hello to you lot. But, are Russians very hospitable? Yeah, very, extremely. And that's one thing I will say, they are very sincere. So if they invite you somewhere, it's because they mean it. They're not just paying lip service. You know, in the West, you know, somebody will say, oh, you must come round for dinner sometime. And you go, yeah. And you never get an invite, and the next time you see them, you say, oh, we must hook up for dinner. And they go, yeah. It never really happens. It's because it's not sincere, it's not genuine. If a Russian invites you round for dinner, it's because they mean it. And it's, yeah, come round for dinner on Saturday. You know, they don't just pay lip service. They're just very sincere people. Equally, if you're being a dick, they'll tell you you're being a dick. But they won't just sort of hold that against you. They'll just say you're being a dick and that's it, move on. So very, very sincere people. They're not in your business. You know, you walk down the street and you could easily mistake Russians for being very stoic. You know, they won't just walk past you and say, hi, how are you? How's the weather? Blah, blah, blah. They don't do that. They probably look at you a bit weird if you do that. It's just not their culture. But if you need help and you stop somebody and say, hi, can you help me? Absolutely guaranteed they'll help you. So very, very friendly and sincere and genuine people. Hope that answers your question, Dan. I caught up with the chat, so if you haven't got any more questions, well, as he says, we get a couple more. Apparently, if you ask how are you doing, tell me the truth and be honest about how they feel. Yes, they will literally take your question literally. Where we say stuff quite flippantly at times. You know, how are your kids? You know, it's just a thing that you go through, isn't it? How are you doing? How's the family? Blah, blah. Whereas if you say that to a Russian, they'll say, thanks very much for asking. So-and-so is perfect. She went down to da-da-da. And you'll get literally, they will tell you because you've asked the question, so they'll give you the answer. They will take it literally. But equally, if they ask you a question, it's because they're interested. It's not just paying lip service. And that's what I mean by being sincere and genuine. There's no fakeness about people here. I've been to the UK 3 times for work. I don't know if I could live there, but I like the people, the humour and the pubs. It is difficult to get a visa with a Russian passport now, is it? Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? Why should it be? 3 years ago that wasn't the case, was it? 2021 wasn't the case. It's just another place to go. But now the government and the media decide Russia bad, and that's it. Everybody runs along with it. Critical thought's just not really there anymore. It's such a shame. No, I haven't, Dan. I've seen it. Trans-Siberian Railway. It's one of those bucket list kind of things, I think. I don't think it's cheap. I might be wrong, but I think it's quite expensive. But we did get a train from Moscow down here, which took nearly 2 days. Russia's a big place. But yeah, like I say, if you want to have a chat, if you've got any questions about Russia, please join my Telegram group and ask away. There's a lot of good people in there, some far more knowledgeable than me, and can probably give you some good answers to questions if you've got any. I need to go swimming, really do. I was in the pool a little while ago, and the strimmer's stopped now. Right, that's it. I'm back in the pool. I think I'll put this power pack in the shade so it doesn't cook. And see if I can flip you guys around. There we go. Whoop. Try and do that. You're not staring at me man boobs. Apparently I've got man boobs. Whatever. My age, I'm unsurprised. Oh, got to be careful where I leave my glasses because I had them on my head a couple of days ago and I thought my bloody head's getting burnt and realised I'm wearing magnifying glass on my head. Of course it was getting burnt. Lovely. So we've got a saltwater pool, just thought I'd let you know. So no chlorine, it generates chlorine, so we don't add any chlorine. And I'm not hugely up on the differences, but effectively you put a special kind of salt into it, and we have a thing called a salt generator which converts the salt into a natural chlorine, but in much lower doses, so the pool doesn't smell of chlorine. It feels really soft. The water is really soft, so it feels really good. It doesn't stink of salt or anything like that. You know, some people say, oh, it's a seawater pool because it's got salt in it. It's not. It's just really nice on your skin. It costs more money to set up in the first place because there's a computer running this pool. So you spend more money on the initial setup, but there's a lot less maintenance. So I'm not testing the water. I don't use anything to test the water because the computer monitors the water and adjusts everything as it needs to. So it's much less maintenance, you know, just a bit with a net. We've got a little hoover that I chuck in and that goes around the bottom of the pool. Actually, while I'm in here, I might as well use that. Wife, would you mind getting Scuba Steve out? I might as well chuck him in here while I'm in here. Yes, we've got a little hoover, as you'll see in a minute. And that trundles around the bottom of the pool, picks up all the debris and the bits and bobs. And then check the skimmers. You know, once a week, just open them up, see if there's anything in there. In frog season, we have to cover the pool, and I put a little ramp on the steps for the froggies, because for some reason they think it's a great place to go, and it's not, because it's salt water. So yeah, we have to rescue the froggies. Thank you, honey. Might as well lob it in while I'm in here, and I... Oh. There he goes, look. Dive. And he's off. There you go. Yeah, so hardly any maintenance, that's the advantage. With a chlorine pool, you're testing it all the time, you're adding pH minus, pH plus, water softeners, you're adding all of these different chemicals. Whereas this, none. So it's a much nicer feel, you know, you don't get out of a pool stinking of chlorine. So like I say, the initial cost is more, but the cost to operate is less. So, but we did it just because it feels nicer. Do you own the house? What do you do for income? So yes, we do own the house. Our money, we moved our money from the UK before all of the current situation. So our money, yeah, is in the house and in various, you know, investments and stuff like that, I guess. I don't work, although now I have a temporary residence permit. I can work if I choose to. So yeah, but we live a very simple sort of life. We own the house, so we haven't got any rent. That's the biggest expense. So our outgoings are quite low. Dan, there's a great documentary on YouTube from 1996. It's a really cool one. It follows the Trans-Siberian from Moscow to Beijing. It's very interesting. It shows Russia after it opened up. Okay. Well, if I ever get 5 minutes, well, if I ever get half an hour to watch something, I'll have a look at that, Dan. Thank you. But it's, yeah, like I say, it's one of those bucket list things, I think, isn't it? Loose, hi. Carolyn, stand up real quick. Okay. Yeah, it's one of those bucket list things, but this country is so vast. I mean, give you an idea, we went out driving a couple of months ago now. I just said to the wife, look, tomorrow we just go out driving, just no idea where, we just go. So we left at about 8 o'clock in the morning. We got home about 8, 9 o'clock at night, something like that, I think. Can't remember. So we went out all day. Went out all day driving. Filled up once because I emptied the tank. So it's out along, and we never left our region. And there are 90 odd regions in Russia. So maybe that'll give you an idea. Yeah, all day driving, and we never. And a region here is the equivalent of a county in the UK. So East Sussex or West Sussex or Hampshire or whatever. Our region is Krasnodarsky Krai, but that's how big it is. It is just immense, and it goes from Kerch. I don't know if Crimea is Krasnodarsky Krai. Don't know. But anyhow, it goes from Kerch all the way down past Sochi. So probably 350 odd kilometres of coastline, 400 kilometres of coastline. And then obviously comes inland as well. So it's about 76,000 square metres, this region. It's huge. The capital of our region is Krasnodar, and that is a beautiful city. The park there is amazing. Lots of videos on my channel from Galitsky Park. Stunning, breathtaking, absolutely beautiful. I wish I could afford a pool like that. You're kidding, man. Thank you, Larry. Yeah, they're not cheap. They aren't cheap, but it was something we factored in when we decided to build a house. It was a necessity for me. I said to the wife, that's an absolute must. I really want a pool, and she wanted a sauna, so that's what we factored in when we built this house, and we've both got our wish. And it's, yeah, in the winter, the sauna, you can imagine, we're in it pretty much every day, I would say. And in the summer, I'm in this thing every day. Do you have a Russian sauna too? Yes. Oh, define a Russian sauna. Banya, Russian sauna, is a big thing. It's a real cultural thing. Most people have a sauna of some description. Ours is more of a conventional sauna. It's not lots of wood. I did show you a little while ago. I might go back in there and show you if you want. But yeah, it's lovely. It's just a really nice place to chill. No, I'm not Hank. Good grief. Andrew, handsome man. Bless you. Is it safe where you're staying? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, absolutely it is. Again, I can only give you my opinion based on my own experience, and had no issues at all with anything. Hi there. God bless, thank you. Privyet. Terry, privyet. Здравствуйте. Dobre din, actually. Yeah. Yeah, so there's a little bit about the pool. Concrete all around. It's printed concrete, so it's not tiled. It's printed concrete, which is kind of a cool process. And the boys that did it worked bloody hard to do it as well. They were working well into the early hours of the morning because of the heat. They need to do the concrete laying and printing at night. So they were here in the early hours. But yeah, we're very happy with it. Private chat. Andrew Taylor, join my Telegram group. More than happy to have a chat with you. Answer any questions if you've got any. Where's my net? Save a bit of the wildlife where it ends up in the skimmer. Oh, that's something as well I've been asked about before, is insects, believe it or not. And yeah, coming from the UK, everything here is different. Every bug is weird. Yeah, nothing looks the same. I haven't seen any, even the ants are twice the size they are in the UK. Everything is different. We have praying mantis in the garden. And I discovered, I think last year or the year before, that they fly. I never knew praying mantis flew, but they do. So we have those in the garden. They're really cool, really cool. But literally every bug is just weird and different. We were in Goryachi Clutch a little while ago. Again, another video on my channel. I think it's a short of some weird bug thing with big googly antenna. Yeah. You have a thing here that it looks like a hummingbird. It flies like a hummingbird, but it's actually a moth. Yeah, just every bug you see here, you just look at it and go, what the hell is that? We have a lot of lizards. I like lizards, so that's all right. And my lovely cat, Rios, the black one, brought home a snake the other day. The wife came in, I was in the lounge, and she said, honey, I need you to come quickly. Uh-oh. She says, Rios has got a snake. You what? I have no idea whether they're poisonous or not. And he's at the end of the pool here, jumping up and down, throwing this snake around. So, by the time I got over there, the snake had got some fatal injuries, had a few puncture wounds, but I didn't know what it was. So I chopped its head off. Thought that was probably the best move before it bit me or the cat, just in case it was venomous. Because I think there is a venomous snake out here, but I don't really know. So I just erred on the side of caution and chopped his head off. But it turned out that it's a rat snake. So, yeah, don't know where he got it from, but decided to bring it home. Look, Daddy, look what I've got. Thanks, Rios. But I like snakes, so, you know, despite chopping its head off, I do actually like snakes. But in my defence, I was putting it out of his misery because Rios was playing with it. Are you close to the coast? Yes, we are 15, maybe 20 kilometres from the coast. About 15 minutes. 15, 20 minutes I can get to the coast. It's just a simple straight road. God, that sun's hot. Blimey. It's just one straight road out of our village, straight to a napper, straight to the beach. So, yeah, really easy. You have WhatsApp live the pool? No, Telegram is the best way. WhatsApp, yeah, I'm not a fan of WhatsApp really. I find Telegram's much more user friendly. When will you learn the Russian language? Good question. I'm doing it a bit at a time. I'm not very academic. I don't learn from books very well. It's not my thing. So I read Russian as often as I can. So, you know, in our daily lives, our daily travels, I try and read any Russian words that I see. Doesn't matter what it is. But one of the first words I learnt was pectopar. So if you write pectopar down as a Brit, P-E-C-T-O-P-A-H is how it looks. Pectopar. That's actually restaurant. But that's the Russian language in the alphabet. P is an R. C is an S. But that's how it looks. I've got an alphabet video on my channel. Have a look at it. It's my most popular video. People find it quite funny. My silly sense of humour, I guess. But it's me going through the Russian alphabet, trying to explain it from a Brit point of view. It is very challenging. But I am trying to learn the Russian language on a daily basis. I was told a bottle of vodka is roughly the price of 2 litres bottle of Coke. Is that true? Is alcohol very cheap there? Yes, and not just vodka. I mean, alcohol full stop is cheap. But then cost of living here is cheap compared to the UK. But it's all relative. You know, the salaries are a lot lower than the UK, so it's all relative. But I would say the standard of living here is better for most people. But yeah, certainly, you know, where we live, which is a wine region, we can have a lovely bottle of wine for £2 or £3, and I mean a lovely bottle, not battery acid. And the same with champagne. We can have a nice bottle of champagne for £3 or £4, really nice. I'm not a champagne drinker, I've said this many times. I find it kind of pointless really, but until I came here, and the champagne here is just beautiful. It's the sort of thing you would gladly open a bottle a week. It's lovely, really nice. And actually, as we're going out for strawberries tomorrow, I will be opening a bottle of champagne with the strawberries, because why not? Champagne and strawberries, darling, why not? I do too, sir. You have WhatsApp to chat. I don't use WhatsApp for chat, mate. I'll be honest. But everything that you can do on WhatsApp, you can do on Telegram. So if you join my Telegram group, I'll happily have a chat with you. So yeah, just join my Telegram group and just, you know, put a comment in my Telegram group. I'll see that as soon as I'm off the live stream. I'll see it, and then I'll have a chat with you. Because Telegram's free, so, and like I say, you can do voice notes on it, you can do video calls, you can do it, everything you can do on WhatsApp you can do on Telegram, because my understanding is most of the WhatsApp features were stolen from Telegram. Believe it or not, that's the truth. What advice for someone who's trying to quit bad habits? Right. Bad habits are a result of you succumbing to your inner chimp. We all have an inner chimp. I've got one. It's a mischievous little monkey that likes to do mischievous things. I don't believe that people can't quit anything if they put their mind to it. I used to be a smoker. I was smoking 30, 35 cigarettes a day for years. And one day I decided to quit, so I quit. It's just a mental thing. The same with drinking. I have a drink. I had a glass of wine yesterday. I can go weeks or months without having a drink, or I can drink every day for weeks or months. It really depends on if I want to have a drink or not. It isn't a craving. It's not like I must have a drink. Must have a drink. Never had a problem with addiction, because I don't let something control me. I absolutely fully understand that most of our demons are here. They're not external, they're internal. So to get a grip of this, you know, you must control your brain, not let your brain control you. And I know it sounds a bit counterintuitive, because that's ultimately what it does. But I taught this to bike racers. Your brain wants to keep you safe most of the time. So it won't let you ride a bike fast. It doesn't want you to. It wants you to brake into a corner much earlier than you should. You know, if you're racing, you need to brake very, very late. And your brain is screaming, brake, brake, brake. Your brain wants you to operate at about 80%. Wants to keep you safe. If your brain had its way, it would put you in a little room that's all padded, soft and nice, and you just have a little drip of water and blah, blah, blah. So you have to force yourself to go beyond those limits. And it's much like, you know, being addicted. That's just a weakness in your brain that you're allowing. And you're allowing your inner chimp to control. And you've just got to put a chain on your inner chimp and go, nah, I'm not doing that. So that's my views on habits. Bad habits. It's just here. Steve Peters, okay. Chimp paradox, okay. Don't know what that is, but okay. I just use a regular call. How about I send my number real quick? Don't do that, Andrew. Don't send your number. I don't, you know, I won't phone anybody or text anybody. But I'm more than happy to have a chat with you on Telegram. I mean, the kind of the if is not really an if, is it? Is that R. Hamilton? What will you do if? Yeah, I mean, it's just not happening, despite the Western narrative. And I see the Western narrative, you know. I see people like Lindsey Graham making the comments that he does, and it's just not based in any reality. It's just, you know, it really isn't. You know, we've travelled about and I've seen some stuff, and it makes me laugh when, you know, I hear all of this stuff. You know, Russia's losing, Russia's run out of this, Russia's run out of that. No, it's not based in any kind of reality, I'm afraid. Oh, it's a book on your inner chimp. Ah, interesting. I didn't know that. Do you come, I guess, across any other British expats? Yes, so Sam from Sam's Russian Adventures is a good friend of mine. He lives in the Vladimir region, which is Moscow suburbs, I guess. He's been here 21 years, I think. So check out his channel if you're not subscribed to his channel already. Great channel. Then Ven Kaur down in Sochi. He lives in Sochi and St. Petersburg. He's from the US and he's got a channel, great channel, really good channel. Should be a lot bigger than it actually is. So please go and subscribe to Ven's channel as well. VEN space KOR on YouTube, Ven Kaur, or at RDNK Ven, Redneck Ven. Really funny guy, love him to bits. So yeah, check out his channel. He's got over 400 odd videos there, and he's a property developer, or he builds properties. So he does the wooden framing houses and stuff like that. So check that channel out. Who else? There's a couple of guys that I've met. One guy, Richard, I met a couple of weeks ago. He was here from the UK. His son stroke daughter-in-law live in Napa, so he was here on holiday. I met him. Nice guy, lovely guy, him and his wife. Hi Richard, if you're watching. Oh dear, you put me on the spot. Yeah, there were a few. Yeah, sorry Andrew, I'm not sort of being dismissive, but it's just a lot easier on Telegram. Saint, mate, I've been subbed to you for a while. What's up? Thank you, mate. Yeah, nothing's up. It's all good. It's all wonderful. No idea what that means, but good luck. Hello. Friends said hi. Any thoughts on Bald and Bankrupt? Yeah, only bad ones, unfortunately. I have no time for the bloke. Not that I've ever met him, and I think you should always meet people before you judge them. But you know, if somebody is of low moral fibre, then yeah. So I'm sorry, no, he's not for me. I don't like the guy. Say I don't like him. I haven't met him, but I've got no interest in him. I don't agree with his tactics, but I don't agree with people making up rubbish just to generate clicks on YouTube. I get people do it. You know, he's got millions of subscribers, I think, and he obviously earns a shed load of money from YouTube. So I understand why he does it. I just don't agree with it. I think it's wrong. I think you should be honest, but he deliberately shows things a certain way, and that's wrong. Show the truth. You know, tell the truth. If you're going to be false, I've got no time for you. And he's certainly somebody I've got no time for. Do you own a Fabergé egg? I wish. Saint, I've been wanting to visit Russia. Got any recommendations on another Englishman travelling there? If you have a look at my channel, there's some stuff about temporary residency. But also, if you're thinking of moving to Russia, where you should start, you know, because some people say get a job. That's the first thing. It's not. First thing you should do, if you're planning to move to Russia, is research the weather. Decide what climate you want to live in. Now, it's not really a question that we have in the UK, because it is what it is. But in Russia, you can live in any climate. So right now, I'm in a swimming pool, but equally, I could be sitting in minus 50 degrees in snow. So you've really got to decide what climate you want to live in. And once you've done that, you can then start researching the regions that provide that climate. And then you can narrow the region down to districts and then down to towns and cities. So that's, if you're looking to move, that's what you should do. That's my opinion. Absolutely get the climate right, because you might find in the middle of winter you can't cope with it, and you might find in the middle of summer you can't cope with it. So you really need to decide what kind of climate you want. We've got a similar climate to the south of France here, and we love this climate. So, you know, this is perfect for us, but it may not be for everyone. But as for just coming here on holiday, yeah, there's nothing really to advise you on other than do a bit of homework, decide where you're going to go, do a bit of homework to, you know, regarding that area, that region. As for, if you speak Russian, obviously perfect, but a lot of the towns and cities have signs in English. I've only seen 2 languages in Russia, and that's Russian and English. So there are signs that are in English. Some Russians speak English, and some Russians speak English at a very high level. So, you know, but don't rely on it. Don't expect everybody to speak English. You'll come into Russia, so you've got to make accommodations to that. You should be fitting in with Russia. But you will come across Russians that speak English. They don't like to, a lot of them. I think a lot of them are a bit shy or embarrassed because they don't get the opportunity to practice English, so they think they speak it badly. The reality is most of them speak it better than I do. So, you know, case in point, the guy that works at the petrol station at the top of our road, he speaks very good English, you know, just completely random in a small Russian rural village. I've been to a couple of vineyards where the lady is fluent in English. Same with restaurants in the town. Even a young waiter in the town, we went for breakfast and he was only 19, I'd say, and spoke really good English. So you will come across that. But Google Translate is really helpful, and there are now things like AI buds, which I'm going to look into. So they're translator earbuds that translate in real time. And I've used an AI app, and it's brilliant. It's real time brilliant. So I'm going to look into that. Money wise, obviously your cards won't work here from the West. So your Visas and your MasterCards don't work. So you need to bring cash. If you're bringing cash to Russia and you want to change it, so if you're bringing dollars, for example, they must be pristine condition, new notes. They can't be old crumpled up notes, because they won't go through the machine. They won't be detected as genuine. So you need pristine condition notes. Personally, I would recommend that you just change them at an airport. So if you're flying, for example, into Istanbul and then travelling to Moscow, just change them at the airport in Istanbul and get rubles there. That's the easiest scenario. Don't worry about you know, the nonsense that it's a dangerous place and you're going to be kidnapped and taken to the front and all your money's going to be stolen. That's just rubbish. It's just nonsense. Don't worry about that. Taxis, everybody uses a taxi. Yandex app for taxis. And I think Yandex for food as well if you want, but shawarma is a big thing in this part of the country anyway, which is like a wrap, you know, chicken or pork in a wrap, and it's lovely and it's available everywhere. Yeah, there's nothing really to say other than do a bit of research on where you want to go and enjoy yourself, because it's a great country, it's a beautiful country, and the people are extremely helpful if you need any help. Yeah, mate, he's a creep. Definitely bad intentions. Yeah, I agree. Bald and bankrupt. Hasn't got good moral fibre, I'm afraid. Lacks integrity. Just went to Vencor. Looks like it might be good. Thanks. No, you're welcome. Do you know what? He's hilarious. Ven is. I mean, he calls himself Redneck Ven, so that should tell you everything. But he's just such a funny guy, very knowledgeable guy about Russia, fluent in Russian, and fluent in Redneck. And no, he's just a very knowledgeable guy. And I think he's got a couple of Telegram channels as well. So, yeah, have a look at Ven's channel. Some great videos there. I know I went to visit him recently down in Sochi, and we went skiing, snowboarding, or he did. We went snowmobiling, which was great fun. So there's a couple of videos there. Have a look. He's a great guy. Moral fibre. Are you of the Christ teachings, if I may ask? You will answer, I reckon. You seem to be of real. I'm not a religious guy. I'm not somebody that feels the need to go to church every week. Don't know if that makes me a bad person or not. I have no idea. But I just believe that everybody should live a good life. And I think everybody finds their own peace without sounding too deep. And if you live a good life, you can sleep well. You know, if you're kind to other people, if you help other people, you know, if you have no enemies in the world that are, you know, of your own making, then you sleep well. And yeah, I think that's how you should be. I think you should help people when you can. And equally, you should avoid, you know, spending time with the wrong people. But yeah, so I'm like I say, I'm not a religious guy. I don't go to church on a Sunday. I've got nothing against anybody that does. It's just not something that I've chosen to do. I just believe in treating people with kindness and treating people how you want to be treated. If you're planning on moving to Russia, get a Russian bird. That's one way of doing it. Yes, Dan, very much so. Especially in the bigger cities, like Moscow is absolutely the definition of that word, without a doubt. But it's because there are a lot less restrictions here. It's a more eclectic kind of environment. So like our village, I love walking around our village because every time I wander out I see something new. No two houses are the same, although technically that's not exactly true. I did find two houses the same the other day, but generally every house is different. Even on a development like ours where they're all from the same developer, every house is different. And you get, you know, you get brand new next to 100-year-old, and etc, etc, and you see all range, and it's just really interesting. I really like it. I don't like to see a load of Lego, so for me it's great. Tenchu Privyet. Yeah, I'm sure you know how it's like over here and what the news says. I've seen videos of people in Sochi, etc, and it looks better than any other English town or city. Well, yeah, yeah, I do see the news. That's one of the things that we do get the benefit of here. We can see English news, we can see American news. It's on the TV every night, so Russians aren't hidden from news. Russians are very educated about world politics and world events because they have the ability to see it. It's not hidden, and that's a good thing because it means you can get all kinds of information and put together a picture and make your own mind up. But when you're only told one thing, you're not really getting the full true story, are you? The phone is absolutely glowing at the moment, so I wouldn't be surprised if it actually shut down. It's cooking. So if I do disappear, it's because the phone's died. It's very hot. Up the reform. Well, I mean, when it comes to reform, it looks good on paper, but is it just going to be different figurehead on the same policies? Farage talks a good talk at some points, but then, you know, his recent comments have been unsightly, so I don't know. Hello, greetings, Raising Hope. Hi. Greetings from Uganda. Wow. Are you in the UK in a pool? That's rare. No, I'm not in the UK in a pool. I'm in Russia, in southern Russia. Just off the coast of the Black Sea, about 50 miles from Crimea. just outside a seaside resort town called Anapa. So if you put into Google A-N-A-P-A, you'll see where we are. Across from Turkey, across the Black Sea from Turkey, and about 300 kilometres away from Sochi, roughly, thereabouts. But yeah, it's lovely here. Dan, is Stalin regarded as a hero or a tyrant by the average Russian? Don't know is the honest answer. There are certainly many memorials to Stalin. Not Stalin, Lenin. Sorry, getting me Lenins and Stalins mixed up, that's not a good thing. It's difficult for me to comment. I can tell you there are lots of memorials to Lenin. Don't recall seeing any memorials to Stalin. So, yeah, you know, there's two versions, isn't there? As there always is. I think it's something that you should research yourself and make your own mind up on. It's not something that I can comment on because I haven't done enough research on that to know. And I certainly haven't had in-depth conversations with Russians to get their opinion on it. Edward, no. Simple answer. Well said, mate, it's never black and white. No, it isn't. It's, you know, there's always the truth. There's no such thing as my truth. That's just bullshit. There's the truth, and then there's people's opinions on the truth. But the truth is the truth, ultimately. But you should always make your own mind up about stuff. I don't believe in just regurgitating, you know, what some news journalist says. Really? You know, you've got to do your own research in this world now, and we've got the ability to do that with the internet that we never used to have. You know, it was much more easier to control people when there wasn't any news other than what they told you. Because now people have the ability to research. Doesn't mean that they do, but it means they have the ability, and if they wake up, they will go and do their own research and they'll have a shock. But still, there are people that don't have the time or don't want to. Some people just don't want their bubble to burst, so they just want to carry on their lives. And a lot of people just want to get through the day, don't they? A lot of people just want to go to work, pay their bills and have a bit of downtime if they can. It's not too much to ask. So a lot of people just, you know, don't really want to get involved in that. And I understand that, but, you know, I think it's wise to do some proper research and understand a particular situation. And certainly, if you're going to comment on it, you absolutely must. Otherwise, you're just repeating what you read that day in the newspaper, and that's just makes you a fool. But guys, I said it about half an hour ago that I was going to go, but I'm going to go now because the phone is cooking in the sun. So am I. I need to go swimming. But thanks for joining me. I really appreciate it. Please like, share and subscribe. Sharing is very important for this channel because the algorithm doesn't find me. So it only grows from people like you subscribing and sharing. So please do that. Please check out some of the videos on my channel. Turn your notifications to on and all. And hopefully the next live stream, I did say it last one, but hopefully the next live stream won't be from the pool, but it'll be from maybe the town. Maybe I'll wander around the village again. Maybe I'll go to Napa and go down on the beach, have a look for some dolphins. Who knows? But thanks for joining me. Really appreciate it. I genuinely do. I genuinely do. I'm not just going through the motions with that. I do appreciate the fact that people subscribe to my channel and take any notice. And a big shout out to Joshua again. Yeah, huge. So thank you for that, guys. And at this point, I'll say what I always do. I'll see you in the next one.